Welcome to Comet Computer Private Limited e-learning program of hardware networking. We are discussing about the antivirus technologies. So far we have discussed about virus details, antivirus software details, and installing the antivirus software and removal process, and the details about the infection and how to do the cleanup process in the system affected with the network. So this is the third section of antivirus technologies, where we are going to see about the do's and don'ts and interview questions like what is a real-time experience, FAQs, or if at all you are going and attending the interview as a desktop administrator or as a fresher. So what is that? You should be knowing it so that you can clear the interviews without any hesitations. So let's see the do's and don'ts for ensuring your system is free from the viruses. So keep your computer virus free. What needs to be done? Install reliable antivirus software. So this is very much required. So last two sections I was mentioning that you need to buy a branded software and licensed one, chargeable one, right? So don't go for free softwares and all. Free antivirus will have lot of problems. So that is not suggested for a professional environment. Okay, so update your antivirus software regularly. So normally what happens, this antivirus client, it has to get updated daily basis. As a best practice, what you have to do, if you are in a corporate environment or in a residential purpose or in a small organization, whatever it is, your responsibility, you are the owner of that computer, right? So you have to ensure that your computer is free from any of the infections. Like we maintain our body, right? So daily we are doing the necessary cleanups and making ourselves fresh. In the same way, we have to ensure the computers are clean and the necessary things are already done. So in that, one of the activities checking your system daily whether the antivirus definitions are updated or not. Some systems will have time bounded, so every day 10 o'clock in the morning the antivirus definitions will get updated, or some systems will get updated before 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, so the time may be differing. So you can make a note of it so that after that time you have to see the client software whether it is installed, I mean whether it is updated or not. If it is not getting updated, wait for some time. There may be some push from the system server administrators, antivirus administrators, to update the softwares. Otherwise, suppose you are in a smaller environment or a residential customer, so you can open the antivirus client and click on the update software so that you will get the current update from the antivirus vendor. But all the vendors, whether it is McAfee, Trend Micro, or Norton Antivirus, everybody is updating and releasing the definitions. We call it as a virus definitions update. So antivirus definitions update. Some McAfee will say that updates. Okay, so definition update. Other vendors will say definition update. So they will be releasing the patches. So we have to update it without fail. Okay, that is one point of making our system stronger. So get immediate protection. Configure your antivirus software to boot automatically on startup and run all times. So in Windows operating system, there is an option called startup, right? Startup. So you can find out what all the applications are starting during the start itself. Okay, when the operating system is getting loaded, all other programs will also get loaded. Okay, there are list of programs you can find out using msconfig command in Windows. That is a useful command, so you can find out. So your antivirus, normally when the program written by the antivirus manufacturer developer, so they give this option to start the antivirus in the startup itself. That is a default, but by some means, some virus programmers are removing that option, or somebody is voluntarily removing that option. So you have to ensure that it is being enabled back. So whenever operating system is getting loaded, immediately the antivirus software has to be loaded into a computer so that you can avoid boot related viruses or initial virus, right, from the. Don't automatically open attachments. So normally in Outlook or mail, we would have configured that when I open a mail, if there is an attachment, open it automatically. So these kind of things has to be stopped immediately. So you'll be seeing the mail, validating the person who is sending the mail, okay, the known person, unknown person, and see the attachment, whether the attachment file name is clear and there is no junk characters in the file name, and it is a kind of zip format or a known formats, right? So if there is any files like INI files or BAT files or any other unknown formats, unknown characters, unknown names, so you have to ignore it, directly move it to the trash or move it to spam, so that you are being safe. Okay. Scan all incoming email attachments. Do not open any email attached files if the subject line is questionable, unexpected, or the source is unknown. So scan all incoming email attachments. This you need not do it as a user, as a computer owner, because once you install the antivirus software, it is one of the basic job of your antivirus software. So it will be scanning all the emails. So it'll, if it suspect some of the mails, it will block it. It will not allow you to open it. So delete the chain emails and junk emails. Do not forward or reply to any of them. They clogs up the network. So you would have seen some of the mails stored in junk folder. There is an option in Outlook. You can find out a junk folder, or in even in Google you have a folder called spam folder, something like that. So they'll be blocking and keeping it separately. They will not load it in your inbox, so that your inbox is not flooded with the number of mails. So the best way is you should not forward the mail to others, because you are impacted. You cannot do the same impact to others also, right? Something like in WhatsApp, we are getting some forward message and we forward to 10 people so that we assume that the benefit will come to us. Sometimes we get a message like if you forward to 10 people, you will get a shoe free, watch free, you recharge free. So immediately what you will do, you just forward to another 10 people without knowing that it is false hawk's message, right? So as a educated person or as a good person, so we should not do this kind of, we should not do any kind of these activities, right? So unnecessarily spamming other mailboxes, other system phones. If at all you are getting it, don't worry, delete it or block it. If the person is unknown person, block it. If it is your friend, please tell him do not forward this kind of forward messages, otherwise you remove him from the WhatsApp group. Okay. So that is the best way we can avoid these kind of things. People have to be matured enough to handle all these things. If there is a loss, nobody can compensate, right? So better to avoid it before getting affected with the loss. Always scan new files for virus before you use them. This is done automatically by the antivirus software. Why I am telling all these things is, though it is configured in antivirus, sometimes people knowingly or unknowingly remove these options. Maybe they are feeling that whenever I download a file, the software is already scanning, always scanning, and it is taking too much time in opening the file, and I'm waste of time. Okay, so it is not actually a waste of time. It is helping you to protect you and protect your system from unauthorized entry, unauthorized impact, right? So you have to allow them to do their work regularly. So don't remove this kind of default options. Backup your files regular basis. This has to be done by the end user. So what we have to do, normally we keep all the data in C drive. So first thing, we can move the data to D drive. If at all any virus is impacted, it will mostly affect C drive because operating system is there. So if at all you are not able to recover the system files or anything, you can format C drive and install the operating system and get back to your own work immediately. Otherwise, best option is you have a pen drive, external hard drive, move the data to the external hard drive so that your data is still secure. Often what you have to do, you have to connect the external hard drive to your system and scan the external hard drive. Though it is not regularly used, it is better to scan the files and keep it safe. That is how you backup files. Now Microsoft or Google is also giving the cloud space, right? Microsoft is giving OneDrive. You can store 1 terabyte size of data. They will charge something. Google is charging you 100 GB for 125 rupees per month, or more than that. There is an option available in the Google Drive. Okay, so they are charging some amount. So month on month you have to pay, or yearly you can do a subscription. so that your data will be safer in cloud. So cloud, they will have a backup, they will have protection. So always you can ensure that your data is safe in cloud. Okay, that is a different story about it. Taking care of USB flash card, CDs, zip, floppy disk, there is very less chance that CD is getting impacted with virus because it is a read only. Mostly operating system related files are there, but sometimes I am writing or burning the CDs from my system and copying the folders to the CDs. What will happen if there is any virus, that is also getting loaded into the CD. So if that CD is given to your friend and he is copying the game or content to his hard drive, definitely that will get impacted with a virus. So if any CD drive found to be virus impacted, your antivirus cannot clear it because it is a read-only memory. So you have to break that CD, throw it away. Okay. Zip drives, flash cards, you can just format it and reuse it. So that is not a problem. So this comes with the comes to the end of do's and don'ts. So these are the general ideas what we have to follow. Some of the things are already available in your antivirus by default. Don't remove them, okay? Because your system is getting slightly slow, but it is for your safety and precautionary purpose, okay? So do not remove any options provided by the vendor, the manufacturer from the system. Now we have almost completed the antivirus segments. We have discussed about what is virus, what is antivirus, and how to identify whether the system is impacted with virus, what are the symptoms you can find out, and what are the best practices, how to install. So almost all the topics we have covered. Some of the important things is we have discussed over the session itself, which is required for interview or for your own developments, career guidance, right? So now we'll specifically see the interview questions, short and sweet, and we'll also get to the FAQs, right? Frequently asked questions. So if you are a residential user, you may have some doubts, right? So how to do all these things and how to secure my system. So everything is taken from some of the website, and I just put it here. So we'll discuss some of the questions and see what best we can do in this. Okay. So do you need both antivirus and anti-spyware scanner? Yeah. So earlier it was a separate product, so we need to have installed the product separately. But now whatever antivirus you are getting, whether it is a McAfee and Norton or Trend Micro, they have the inbuilt components along with the antivirus. They are also inbuilting anti-spyware. Okay. So now you need not install separate anti-spyware in your system. Sometimes we'll get mail or we'll get notification mentioning that your system is at risk. It is impacted with virus. That is a mail actually. Okay. So how does he know my system is affected with virus? No, right? So it is a Hawk's mail. Okay. If you are opening that mail, that's all. You will have some virus getting downloaded. So delete those mails directly. If at all your system is affected with virus, you will get a warning message immediately from your own antivirus. It is there in the system. If you should not close that program, or you should not shut down that program, otherwise you will be at risk. Okay, so you should get alert from your antivirus software, otherwise don't believe any other messages. Do we have to uninstall existing antivirus program before installing a new one? Can be done, but suggest is sometimes one antivirus program will not allow other antivirus program. It will create a conflict. So they themselves uninstall the software, then only they will proceed with the installation. So otherwise we can uninstall, then we can install the new one. Okay, but what I suggest is keep your system disconnected from the internet or network, so that during your installation removal process, your system should not download any of the virus programs. Okay. Why does one scanner detect a virus when another does not? Maybe this antivirus software is up to date, and the other system is not up to date, maybe 1 week or 1 month old. Sometimes we are keeping the system always on, but there is some program error occurs with the antivirus software, and the definitions are not getting updated with the latest one. So if you are having a latest definition, the latest virus can be detected. Otherwise, the system is not getting detected. So in case of corporate environment, what we used to do, I'll have antivirus administrator monitoring all the system's behavior and seeing the definitions update. So we call it as day 1, day 2, day 3 updates. So we'll ensure that all the systems are up to date with the latest definitions. Definitely some of the systems will not get updated. Maybe that system is shut down, network cable is disconnected, or hard disk crash, OS not available, um, whatever it may be. So we'll take the list of systems, we'll give it to the desktop engineers. So they will go to the particular place where the system is kept. They will check if the system is powered off. So they will switch on. They will update the antivirus definition. They will come back. If LAN is disconnected, they will connect the LAN. We'll wait for some time, and the antivirus definition will get updated. They will verify, right? If system is crash, OS is down, so they will take the system to the IT cabin. So they will install the operating system. They will install the latest definition. They will return back. So this is how we do in case of corporate network. Okay, in case of residential users, as I mentioned in my previous best practices, do's and don'ts, once you open a system computer, you have to check what is the current status of your antivirus. Okay, so what is the current status? Whether it is updated with my current definitions, today's definition, or at least yesterday's definition, right? Because it may be updating by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the evening. You are seeing the system by 11 o'clock in the morning. It may not be updated, but if it is n minus 1, n is current date, minus 1 is previous date. Okay, n minus 1, we can accept it. Maybe later 4 o'clock, after 4 o'clock, the definitions will get updated. It depends on each vendor, so we are not sure about it. So that way we can say ensure that the system is having latest update. So if you have a latest update, definitely your system will get notify the virus infections, right? Very rare case that sometimes McAfee is detecting the virus, whereas Trend Micro is not detecting the virus. It is very rare case, because all the antivirus manufacturers are referring the same kind of database infections, and they are doing the R&D immediately if there is any impact. Okay, so it is very rare case between them there is a mismatch or non-detection of antivirus. What is a virus? All that we are seeing about is virus only, so you know the better definition. What is the difference between virus and malware? So that is also we have seen in the previous slides. You can refer it. How do I scan or check for computer virus? So the operating system as well as the antivirus software is configured to do a manual scan. I mean the automatic scan at a specified time, maybe during the lunch time, during the evening time, whatever it is. In the corporate network, we plan for a lunch time between 1 to 2, or night time after 10 to 11. So we'll do a full scanning and ensure that system is not affected. If at all we get an alert that system is affected after scanning, we'll take immediate action. We remove the system, we do the cleaning process, and we'll connect it back once the virus is cleaned. Okay, so otherwise, I have to open the antivirus program. There is a manual option available, and go for manual option and run the scanning, right? So how does an antivirus work? This is also we have discussed in these slides. You can refer it. How to install an antivirus program on a computer? So we have shown you the demo also. Refer the slides. How do I update my antivirus program? So just right click on your antivirus program. There is an update available. So you can click on the update. You can just proceed with the updates. Can smartphones get infected with virus or malware? Definitely, your smartphones can be infected. Nowadays, phones are equal to your laptop, right? So, operating system, we use iOS or Apple, that's not a problem, not like Windows operating system, but the infections, the impact are same like your laptop or desktop. So, you should be very careful in handling all these things. Okay. How do I update my antivirus? Okay. How to remove and uninstall an antivirus program? So you can go to programs and features in case of Windows 10 or right Windows 8. You can just go and uninstall the antivirus program, which is not suggested. Based on the known reasons, you can go for uninstalling the antivirus. What are the currently available antivirus program? We have shown you a list of antivirus. You can refer that. Does Windows come with the virus protection program? Yes, they have inbuilt programs. We have Microsoft antivirus also. If required, you can also install it. Why I'm getting emails telling me I am sending viruses? Because you are first thing we have to find out whether it is a legitimate mail. whether the mail sent by the system administrator or automatically from the antivirus server. So if at all you are getting the mail, you have to check with your system administrator whether this mail is a valid one or not, because they are only configuring these options, right? Otherwise, we have to delete it and block the sender. Point one. Point two, if it is a valid mail, if your system administrator says that yes, we have configured this ID, it is coming from your antivirus server only, then we have to see what is the action we have to take for removing the virus. Okay, there are two scenarios available in this. Why do people create virus and malware? Because some of them create it for business purpose, some of them create it as a hobby. So we cannot stop them, right? Because it is very difficult to find out who is creating virus and pumping it to the network. So we cannot find the trace of it. It is very difficult. Maybe cyber crime or the intelligence can have the trace. Is it okay to have a spyware and antivirus program installed? So spyware, to remove the spies, normally the antivirus has an inbuilt one, so you need not worry about having a separate spyware. Maybe when you are buying the antivirus software, you can check whether you have all the protection enabled, right? Because that is given as a package. You can find out. How do I update antivirus if license is expiring? Okay, so each product is license oriented. Maybe 1 year or 3 year we are getting the license. So if the license is expired, are going to expire, so what you have to do, you have to ensure the system is getting updated, right? If license is expired, the software will not work, so you have to renew the license. So otherwise, no, you are at risk. So in case of corporate, we do it automatically. We'll upgrade the license, latest license details into the antivirus server that is getting populated to all the clients, right? So there is no interruption to the service. But if at all I forget to renew the license in the server, within few days, my system will be at risk. So we'll have um, ITL process followed, and we have a software library available. Um, so it will be giving you a warning and alert. So based on that, you can initiate a process for buying the license, right? So yearly or for a number of years, they'll mention it. So we can buy that licenses. In home, right? If at all you are working from home, or you have a laptop at home, if it is going to expire, normally we don't remember. Okay, so after the expiry only we come to know that it is expired. So you have to contact the vendor, pay for it, and get the license renewed. If at all you have a software without license, it is same like you don't have the software in your laptop or desktop. So what are the top 10 computer virus of all time? I love you virus, Melissa virus are two, but we have a lot of viruses available, and it has caused lot of impact. Okay, so huge amount of business impact it has created. What is a quick and deep of our full antivirus scan? So quick scan is, it'll do the scanning in the memory, it'll do the scanning in boot sector, it'll do the scanning in the operating system main areas. It just say temporary places or cache area. So it will say virus scan is clean, right? Deep scan means it will scan all the files and the folders, subfolders, everything. So it will take more time. Quick scan at least can finish in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but deep scan go for hours. So that's why we plan deep scanning during the lunch hours or during the non-peak hours. Should I run update or patch? I receive an email. Not recommended. First, you have to find out whether who is sending the mail. So whenever you receive mail, you have to identify who is the sender. Suppose it is from the network administrator, it is from the system administrator, antivirus administrator of your own organization. Then you can download the files, because your system is not getting updated automatically. They would have sent that attachment only for that particular days of this thing definitions. So you can do the installation or click on it, but it is not recommended to do it. So normally what we used to do in the corporate environment is, if suppose the machines are not getting updated, I will send the engineer, or I will take a remote of that particular computer after getting permission from the user. I will open the antivirus program, find out why the system is not getting antivirus definitions automatically. Maybe some blocks, some restrictions, some network issue, I don't know. So we'll have to do troubleshooting and fix the issue so that from next day the software is, I mean, the antivirus definition is getting updated automatically. So if you ask me directly, I will say no, but some companies are doing it, okay? Because if it is a executable, sending via Exchange server is not recommended. That will create some issues, right? Exchange sometimes you'll block exe files. The Exchange antivirus service will block the unauthorized extensions. So don't send it. um, do it by taking remote or send an engineer to the desk and fix the issue so that it has to do the process automatically. Don't do any manual process. How do I remove a virus from a malware from my computer? So we have seen a lot of steps in the earlier slides. Do Apple computers get viruses? It is very rare. Nowadays, people are stretching themselves for writing a virus program for Apple. So it is tough. That's what I can say, but it is not impossible one. Okay. How do I disable my antivirus program in Windows? It is not at all recommended. Don't do this. Otherwise, you are going to take risk of your own computer as well as if you are in a network, if you are disabling antivirus, you are allowing the virus to get spread to other systems easily. Okay. But otherwise, if at all you want to disable the antivirus, one, you can right click on the antivirus client software in the system tray. You can select the option as disable. Normally in corporate environment, we don't provide that option to disable by the user. Point one. Point two, if at all there is a issue, you want to disable the antivirus for some time, then from the antivirus server will be getting a code. Okay, so you have to enter the code so that antivirus program will get disabled, right? So you can follow that method, or otherwise you can go to services.msc. You can find out the antivirus service. So click on it, disabled, stop or disable, it will do it. But normally in the client systems, we will not have permission to disable the antivirus software because it is very critical. Can virus damage computer hardware? Yes, it can damage. How it is? Suppose it cannot directly go and damage the hardware, but if it is a kind of spamming of information or spamming of data or multiple loops it creates, or it is sending a lot of responses to the processor programs and other stuff, the processor or other chips get more heated. Sometimes it goes faulty. Okay, so that way it can impact the hardware, but it is very rare. So normally virus programmers plan to destroy your operating system and the data, not the hardware. But if it is a looping kind of program, definitely your system will get impacted with hardware defect. Okay. Can a thumb drive be infected with virus? Yes, effectively it can get infected. If you have a virus in your computer, you are copying the data from your computer to the thumb drive, pen drive, that will also carry a virus. Okay, so it is always better to scan the thumb drive before you insert it to the system. I'm sorry, after inserting to the system, you have to run the antivirus scan so that you can find out viruses or not. Once you insert it, the antivirus program has intelligency to find out the virus automatically. Otherwise, you can run the scan and do it. Worst case, what you can do, you can format it, right click and format the thumb drive, and then you copy the required data. Okay. Why is my um, okay? How does a computer get infected with a virus or spyware? This is already discussed. Why is my computer slow after installing an antivirus? Yeah. So if you ask me immediately, it will be very slow because it has to check all the areas and update the details. Point one. Point two is it will run the deep scanning to find out any viruses available. That's the reason the system is very slow. If at all you see continuously the system is slow because of the antivirus, then you have to do a thorough scan once during the non-peak hours and find out what is the issue. And if required, you can raise a ticket with vendor, the service provider, maybe McAfee, Trend Micro, whoever it is, not an antivirus. They can provide some tools, and you can run the tools and find out is it a problem from the antivirus software, or something is blocking your antivirus in running the program. Okay, that they can do some advanced tools they'll have. Is it okay to have more than one antivirus installed? Not required. Is it a crime to make a computer virus? Yes, it is a cyber crime. Some countries have strong laws, so If at all you create a loss to an organization, to a company, definitely you will be charged against some penalty or some other actions also. Do antivirus companies create computer viruses? We cannot say directly yes or no on this particular thing. We suspect, but we don't have any valid proof that the antivirus company is creating the virus and then they are selling the antivirus software to protect your computer. So this is yes or no. How to check whether all the desktops are updated with the latest definitions in the network? So here this portion is specifically for corporate network. How desktop antivirus administrator is working, antivirus engineer is doing the activity daily basis. So how to check whether all the desktops are updated with latest definitions in network? Suppose you have 1,000 desktops, you cannot go to each desktops and find out whether the system is affected with, I mean, updated with antivirus software, right? And we are not sure whether the user will report to you if any system is not updated with the definitions. So an administrator will be doing the scanning daily basis. He will open the console and find out whether all the machines are with the latest update. So if any machine is missing, he will send that information to the desktop engineer. He or she will go to the desktop and update the antivirus and find out the reason why it is not getting updated. We have seen like shutdown, network cable disconnected, hard disk crash or OS crash, whatever it is. So we have to fix it so that next day the system is able to get the antivirus directly without any interventions. What need to be done if any of the machines fail to update the antivirus? So we have to see whether any program issue with the particular antivirus client software. We have to fix it or we have to reinstall the antivirus client. No impact to the system, right? No data is lost. So we can reinstall the antivirus and find out whether the update is happening automatically or not. Worst case, the registry corrupt or some other impact. So we have to reinstall the operating system and antivirus software along with that. How to check the health status of the antivirus software in the endpoints? So through console, we can find out as a system administrator, antivirus administrator, the regular job is daily finding the health status of a endpoints. All the endpoints are working good. They are getting the updates and they are properly responding to the antivirus server through heartbeat signal. If there is any impact, we can take the list of missions and give it to the desktop engineers. They can go and fix the issues. They'll be having some standard steps to fix the issues. We have to refer the runbook or SOPs to fix the issues. How to make sure laptops are updating the antivirus regularly? So as a owner of the laptop machine, you have to ensure by just right clicking on the antivirus client software and find out whether it is with the latest update or not. Sometimes you will get the message there itself that your system is out of latest definition, so you have to take action immediately. You have to take it to the IT bay and fix the issues and so that from next day it has to get the updates automatically. How to block the users from using the desktop if the antivirus is not updated? There are some antivirus policies, security policies implemented over the network. So we are doing the best service to the industry and we are ensuring all the endpoints are up to date. Sometimes no, the antivirus definition is not getting updated, so my desktop engineer will go and try to fix the issues. The users available in the desk will not allow us to do the troubleshooting and fix the issue because we may take half an hour to 1 hour to identify the issue and fix it, right? So the user will say, I am busy with other activity, so please go and come back after some time. Even after some time, if we go, you will not allow us to do the troubleshooting. So normally what organization does, they'll be having security policies, group policy kind of policy, right? So whenever the machine is getting booted and antivirus is getting loaded, it has to have a latest definition. Okay, it will be verifying the current date for definition or yesterday date for definition. If your system is not updated for more than a week, that means more than 3 days also, the antivirus policy will not allow you to log in. Okay, even if it is login, there will be restricted access given to you so that you cannot work on any of the contents. You cannot even open MS Office and do the activity. You will be allowed to do only system related activity only. So you cannot open the browser, browse the internet, all those things. You cannot do anything. The policy is like that. Once you log in, you have to ensure the antivirus is getting fixed and the latest definitions are available, then you restart, then it will allow. It is done via a kind of group policy. Security is most straightforward, and they are configuring all these things in the servers. So how to install the antivirus in one endpoint through remote? So there are options, right? From the share path, you can get the software and install the antivirus software in a machine by sitting in remote. Or you push the antivirus client software from the antivirus server, or you push the software from the SCCM server. So there are multiple options to push the antivirus server, antivirus software for the remote machines. How to block the users from using the, okay, not updated. What are all the steps taken once any virus is identified in any endpoints? So we discussed this lot, right? So layman check, once you identify that the machine is affected with the virus, please unplug the cable, unplug the power cable, whichever is possible, you please do it. Then you do the deep scanning, and then first update the definitions for the particular machine using a pen drive, because you cannot download it in from internet, right? LAN is not available. So do the updates first, then you do a deep scanning, then find out whether the virus is removed, killed or not, or moved to the quarantine. Then only you can restart the system and find out. Otherwise, you have to take the data and give it to the vendor. They will provide you the bug fixing tool. So using that tool, you can fix the issue. Then you can restart it. Worst case, you have to go for formatting the desktop and providing the data back. How to get help from vendor of antivirus for any assistance? Yes, you have to raise a ticket with the vendor. They will ask you some of the system logs from the antivirus software. You have to take the logs and give it. They'll ask for, sometimes they'll ask for the memory dump, so you can create a memory dump and give it. So they will do all the verification with your system logs and the memory dumps. They'll come to a conclusion that what is the issue with your system, so that you can do all these things through remote and all the activity from the remote itself. You need not do any manual activity. Okay, so this is how you raise a ticket with vendor. If more machines are impacted and you are not able to fix it, you can raise a P1 ticket with the vendor. So it is a high priority ticket, so they have to give immediate attention to you for fixing the issues. Okay, so this is about interview questions. We have reached end of the topic for overall antivirus technologies. Hope it is clear for you and got the input about antivirus, virus and antivirus. Yeah, thank you very much.